It is my privilege and pleasure once again to present the Memorial Hospital of Converse County Provider of the Year Award for 2018. I hope previous recipients will not be offended by my decision to wear this tie for the occasion. I probably should have worn it for them as well, but this year I particularly need to beg forgiveness for lurking and prying into this very private honoree's past, and in particular for going through his high school yearbook. Do you have any idea how far back you have to go to find a picture of Patrick Yost with hair? Here he is in 1990, being a star of the Wheatland High School basketball team. Some of you may know that he graduated from the University of Wyoming in 1994 with a BS in zoology, and that he then attended Creighton University Med School, obtaining his MD in 1999. From there, he returned to Wyoming, where he entered family medicine residency in Cheyenne, serving as chief resident during his final year, 2002. He stayed on in Cheyenne as an attending physician for the residency program, except for a few years when he worked in his hometown of Wheatland, Wyoming, where he was mentored by a previous recipient of the MHCC Provider of the Year Award, Dr. John Thalken.
He spent almost a year working with me in Wheatland, and at the end of that time, he came to me and said, "You know, this isn't really a whole lot of fun. We're working too hard. I don't get to fish very much." Pat Yost and I go back a very long time to his middle school and my middle age. Met him first when he was probably a 5th or 6th grader. Certainly by junior high, he was famous in the Wheatland area for his approach to life, or lack of same. In fact, at one point in time, I thought about going to the junior high principal and asking him to please keep that young man away from my daughters.
Dr. Yost holds similar titles as I do within the University of Wyoming and the University of Washington, but the difference is that he does not display his certificates on his office walls, and I don't think he wears a tie much either.
One of the main objectives given to me when I started working here at MHCC by the board of directors was to solidify the primary care providers here in Douglas. The constant turnover of physicians was very frustrating to our patients, to our providers, and to our employees. As such, we undertook a tremendous effort to recruit outstanding primary care providers, preferably with Wyoming ties, to improve the chances they would stay. One name that came up time and again from providers like Dr. Thalken and Terry Moss was Dr. Pat Yost. I remember asking Terry Moss what would help convince Dr. Yost to come to Douglas. He said, beer and a Denver Broncos football game. Done. We still joke that he was a cheap recruit, but a great one.
I distinctly remember a conversation that I had with Dr. John Thalken, actually right before Pat had signed on the dotted line, but we knew he was coming. And I remember John saying something along the lines of, he'll definitely liven up the place, and that he has.
It's a pleasure to have him back in Douglas from Cheyenne so that he can be the comic relief. He also actually works once in a while, and it's an honor to be called his colleague.
But all joking aside, Pat is an outstanding member of our medical staff and our community for several reasons. We know where he stands on issues, he's willing to help out when needed, and he fights for what his patients need, all very admirable qualities.
If I had to pick an MHCC value that Dr. Yost exemplifies, it would be joy, and I have the emails and text messages to prove it. He has an infectious personality and a great laugh. He is competent, compassionate, and patient-centered.
He also bleeds brown and gold and loves the Cowboy State and all the people that live in it.
Dr. Yost and his wife Nikki are raising an amazing family in Douglas, and they are some of the busiest and best parents that I know.
A recent WWAMI Med student, Maggie Cooley, put it well when she wrote, Dr. Yost deserves to be recognized for making the student feel very comfortable, and despite pretending to be ignorant, he manages to quote up to date on almost any subject.
Thus, on behalf of the board of directors, the medical staff, the employees, the community, and myself, I want to thank Dr. Yost for his service and congratulate him on being the MHCC 2018 Provider of the Year.
Congratulations to you, Dr. Yost. Can I take my tie off now?
So congratulations, Pat, MHCC's Provider of the Year, as this is an award that is well deserved. And I guess this means, Pat, that I probably won't be able to suspend you for the rest of the year.